Top of the day greeting people. Yeah, it's me. I'm Yolaga. Like we have the appointment for 3 o'clock. I'm here and I'll be talking about leadership confraternity. Straight from how we have it. I'm just starting with Fela Kuti to let us have this awesome feeling, that to call our ancestors to the show, Well, no authorization to the music and no impersonation meant, just using it as a very nice background sound. A jam that actually goes to what we want to talk about, awakening the soul of the people, people of Africa. Before anything at all, we go dey shout, Abba hala, Abba hala, Abba hala. Okay, my people, let's have our discussion so we don't have a horrible start to the program. I'm sorry for the breakups. We are talking about leadership confraternity today. Like hi, I'm Amiolaga, and I promise to give us analysis in a dialectical material form to relate the grassroots and to relate the situation at large. And nothing too much to worry about. We have to talk about what leadership is and what confraternity means. And leadership in itself is an opportunity to serve a race or to serve people, to serve government or to serve in the community. Because leadership is not mainly about governance. No, leadership in religion classes, leadership in the ed service class, leadership in law aspects, leadership in policy making, leadership in economy aspect, leadership in all ramifications of life. Because we must know one thing for sure, that no matter how we try to organize the nation, if other day-to-day activities of our life are not organized as people, it will be difficult to organize leadership for the nation. So I think these are aspects that actually people of Africa are still missing out when we get into discussion of leadership. So here we are explaining to people that leadership in whatever hemisphere you find to play that role is an opportunity for anybody to serve the people, just to serve the people, not otherwise. And the confraternity in leadership, confraternity itself is the bond of brotherhood, bond of sisterhood that has been attached to lot of lot of significant spiritual involvement. It's what they call confraternity. It is not just an ordinary brotherhood or ordinary sisterhood. You see, what they call confraternity is as simple as what you can find in all these religions that we have. That is deep explanation of brotherhood and deep physical answer to what brotherhood looks like. You can see within the sisterhood of the Catholic churches, you can see they know how they run their affairs, they know how they work everything out, they know how they make you a sister, what activities goes on as internet has exposed and all of that. But the brotherhood, the love, the genuinity, the oneness, the thing that joins them never changed. That is confraternity. I'm only saying that to explain what confraternity means. So when we say leadership confraternity, it means we are trying to tell people that actually they're not just going to knock your door and say you have to be the governor of a state, or you have to be the minister, or you have to be, people work their house to get to this position. And there are actually some sacrifices and some significant spiritual involvement that we said earlier that's attached to this um attached to this leadership. So if you want to be in the governmental leadership, you understand the fact that, one, it is not just what you dream. You must understand the whole structure, you must understand how the whole thing works. You must get to know what people meant by leadership, what people are trying to do, what people have been doing, how people get to leadership, and all of these things. You must try to understand this first. And this confraternity between these people is what I want people to understand dialectically now. The situation we have all around African nation from 1960 to 2021, no leadership elevation from that time till this time that we have now. It is the same set of people who founded the Organization of African Union with Nkrumah. It is the same set of people, except the ones that have passed. And the ones that have passed, go and check. It is their personal assistants, or their secretary, or one of their major generals, or what from the nation is what is ruling currently, or is one of the major role player in choosing people or playing leadership role for Africa. What I'm trying to explain is simple, and I will put it out very clear. What I'm trying to say is, from 1960, you have the family of you have the family of these people who rule today in the north. If their father is not former minister, he would have been former general, and he is having a stool where the son controls, or where the son lives on, or the son is a present governor, or the son wants to be minister, or the son is already an ex-minister. All of this thing. Now in Togo, it is not different. The son of the prime minister that has ruled in Togo for more than 2 decades, his son is now the president of Togo. This happened last year in Chad. The same thing happened last year in Chad. Mind you, this explanation that I'm giving, this analysis also is coming to the left, because it is the right and the left who actually play these roles. you know so it is not something that we think we talk about the right alone and not mentioning the left, you see. So apparently I'm saying this is an entire Africa issue. It's not just about Nigeria alone. And it's an African issue because the same thing you have is what you have in Cameroon, the same way you have Buhari, who have ruled in 1983. I was watching a comedy skit yesterday online, and there was a comedy skit that said that guy was inside his mom 1983 when they welcomed him to this Nigeria. President Buhari was the president, and now in 2021, President Buhari is the president, and he's trying to figure out how how come the youth are not tomorrow's leader. So all of these things is what I'm trying to explain, because many people feel by just ranting on internet or by just protesting we're going to get a meaningful result without putting a very strong grassroots work, very strong grassroots education to the people, telling them and exposing this confraternity, how it works, how they control their mind through their artist and entertainment industry. All of this has to amount to what is happening around your social engineering tools like internet, like Instagram, like all of those. Those people get rich because they are tools to pass messages. They are tools for social engineering. That is one thing you must know. And who are the people behind, who signify the rich and who signify the poor? These are the leadership confraternity that I'm trying to pull out. I just don't understand if people will see what angle I'm trying to link these positions together. As Black people, we must know that we are ruled by actually a big brother, a hand who controls who become a president, who becomes the president, who is going to be allowed to be ruled, who is going to be among people who are going to rule, who make policies, what policies you make, things you talk about in your assemblies, and all of that. People have to know. That is why if anybody wants to become president in Nigeria, he has to go and sit in the UK. It's not either you go for surgery or what. When President Muhammadu Buhari wants to become president, he visited UK. When President Goodluck Jonathan wants to become president, he visited UK. When Alassane Ouattara wants to become Ivorian president, he went to France. When Mamadi, the coup runner of 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 Guinea Conakry, he also been with France. So we must know how this confraternity gets to tally with who rule us, what positions our economy have, and why our economy is in that position. Because to people they think it's about you having good life, or you can't have good life if you cannot play to what is going to benefit Black people. Is either we work together as one or we perish together. That is what you're trying to explain, because it's even beyond those who think they are the rich African people. The game is beyond them. They destroy Africa on the peril of all of us. That is why I'm wondering if it is not for confraternity's sake, if it is not for some extra spiritual involvement, how on earth is an Lagos governor who served Lagos for 8 years, who expanded local governments and paid without federal government revenue, cannot build an hospital that is going to serve him a surgery, or cannot build an hospital that will serve health-wise to the people. And yet, people are launching, his caucus are launching presidency race for him. And people are will gullible follow him because they feel he is a leadership. A lot of them like that. Same thing with the former vice president. How can you be former vice president and you only want to be president because of what? You've been vice president. All these innovations you want to bring now, why don't you put it in there? When you have the opportunity to play the leadership, or you think you have to be president to play the leadership, hell no. So this is the leadership thing we are explaining to people. Is your leadership serving you, or you serving them? And while you serve them, what are you getting in results? If it is not for confraternity, that makes you look away from results that you should be getting, that your generation, third generation, should be getting. People use Europe to compare Nigeria. I tell people, stop using Europe to compare Nigeria. Where there is leadership, there is leadership. We know what Rwanda used to be in the 90s. Look at what Rwanda has become in the 20s. You know, I wouldn't say you should go look South Africa, because even the South African government are not different. All they have is a one-party system that doesn't make a reasonable criticism exist. If you make reasonable criticism exist, share the parliament, share, whatever we want to say about South Africa. South Africa is way better to Nigeria in terms of managing the election and all of the rest. But look at what Nigeria has become. Look at what Africa has become. In no time, let us look at it. Then the other day, a president of Ghana is telling us to go and register with European Union. How can, when European Union is made up of each European state of its own, then African Union in its entirety as a bloc, a 54 nation, we go and join EU. For what? Are we saying Africa has failed, and are we saying Africa cannot stand as a state because we have poor African leadership and a leadership of fraternity that refuse to believe that they failed? This is what I'm trying to explain, that it is definitely an international related leadership confraternity that is ruling Africa and leading Africa astray. That is why you must know who you choose, who you follow, who you call your leader. I'm saying this, I don't know, nobody owns his own life. Nobody owns his own life. If anybody wants to come after me to take my life, I've done this. I've done it already, but that's not even the context. But we are just telling you that we are not scared of that. We already know it's about life or death. So we say what we know. We say the truth, and let the truth set us free. Who determines who becomes president? And that is why you must know, if it is not an international confraternity, how is it that this same government that has proved to be so woeful, that has borrowed so much within 6 to 7 years of their ruling, how do they still manage to get loans from their contemporaries in the Western world, if it is not for the sake that these are plans according to make Africa backward? Then when Rodney said how European on the underdeveloped Africa, where Europeans have their own role to play as the major key role player in destroying Africa, why are African brothers, African fathers and mothers, African sisters, why have they chose to be sellouts? Why have they chose to betray Africa at any expense, at any opportunity? It's a shame. You build table to destroy Africa. You choose from your table, from your right, from your left, all across Africa. You spread your tentacles just to destroy Mother Africa. But why? Why? And you are seeing the symptoms of your destruction at play. You see, instead of Africans uniting, Africa is getting more divided. Africa is getting more divided. The dictator in Cameroon, almost 90 something or even 90 something, I guess I heard he's still contesting or handing over to his own son. He's preparing his son to come and take over. But why? Does this mean that there are no good heads among your child growing up? Because even your own children, you can't even put your children get jobs in NMPC, they get jobs in all government parastatals. But you see, when we meet your children internationally, they can't even contest, They know it's not on the same level when it comes to knowledge. With all of the money, because you have to let people grow, give chances to people, let them grow. Let young leadership grow. Leave this confraternity of he's my friend, he has served me before. There are other people who have learned far way better than these old people. Even if they are going to have flaws, you people have flaws. You've been in this government either by right or by left. That is for the right. And now for the leftists, let's come to talk to ourselves. I know some families also that have built confraternity around the leftist organization in Nigeria. If it is not them, it is not them. They can't talk about even some people who have worked with the right so well. They still call themselves civil something organization. All of these things we must just stop doing as if people don't see you. We all see you. We see what you have turned Nigeria to. How many of you made your reasonable wealth? You say you are left, but you are also wealthy. How you made it, we don't know. You know, but we just hope that there will be a new dawn in Nigeria. Many of you will end up in jail as well because we don't actually know what the problem is. Anybody that comes out to say anything must be jailed. And if it is your fellow leftist men that you can curb when you say, hey, don't go out and protest, you know yourself. We won't mention names. You know yourself when you call protest today, then next week you will stop it. Then the gully boo that follows you will say, no, we are fighting for the rank and file of working Nigeria. All of you don't understand what is happening in Nigeria. I think all of you are just trying to practice what you've read or what. Even what you've read does not even work like that for the Western people because your ideology is from the West. And even in the USSR that they used socialism then, socialism ended up crashing. So what crashed it? War. What crashed it? War. They fight with guns and battle, not carrying books to learning. And I don't speak much of books because I talk to what we see physically. If what I've explained today does not mean there's an international confraternity going on that is controlling African leadership, then I think you have not been following because I'm trying to network everything to you, how it happens in Mali, you see, in Sudan, Cote d'Ivoire, you see. The only way Alassane Ouattara came to Cote d'Ivoire was because Gbagbo resisted France and France brought him. Now, Alassane has adjusted France, adjusted Cote d'Ivoire constitution to be a third-term president, just like Felix Houphouët-Boigny did. Live long, about 40 something years. But all of this thing, we can't say it all in the day. Let's break it there today. Thank you, my people. I appreciate so much. Thank you for the time.